just 42 people for an invitational. It was 42 people representing the best of their companies. Oh, he loves throwing them high off that wall, doesn't he?
Right. Alex mentioned something earlier about needing some spackling compound.
We're insured. It's all okay. It's really all okay. But no, I've noticed that everybody had a great time this weekend, and really it is about Catan, but it's also about having a lot of fun and meeting new folks and just having a blast.
Well, talk about the process, because of course this has been a long time in coming. Really, the planning for this began at the 2010 World Championships in Germany.
Yeah, about the day after. When we talked about, Lauren was over there, of course, helping out on their end, just like we've got our friends from Cosmos here helping us out. But we have indeed been planning this for 2 years. We found Normandy Farms here about 18 months ago, and have been working with them on and off, doing things all the way up until the last possible moment, before everything started. And it took us every bit of that time to put everything together. And from what I could see, we ultimately did the right thing, and everyone's just been exceedingly happy over their experience here this weekend. And can't say enough good things about you guys, about the organizers, and let's make one thing perfectly clear. All I did was say, okay. I didn't do any work. I just walked in and I'm the hero. But that's okay.
Well, someone has to say okay.
Somebody has to say okay.
And maybe approve a few budget items.
Oh, just a few budget items. Yes, absolutely. And you're getting notes here. You got a
We are. So we got some new points on the table, which is always a matter of some excitement. So we have a tie for first now. That Joe Chan is now caught up with Christina, so we've got 4 points each, and 3 points now for Herbert. So the Austrian-German contingent, just a point behind our Lithuanian and our friends from Parkland. So Herbert has joined the four club. So now Reiner's the only one back with 3 points, and everybody else now sitting at 4. So we're now starting to see the engines rev up a little bit.
Yeah, we have our first city on the board right now.
So the production's going to start gearing up here very quickly, and we should start seeing some mid-game action.
But are we still at 4-4-2-2 now? Or
4-4-4-3.
We're actually 4-4-4-3 right now.
So don't dial that number for us.
Is this pink, by the way?
No, it's purple.
So I've been handed my purple slip. Is that? I thought I was handed a pink slip, but.
So if we can't fire you, you quit. Wait a minute, you don't even work for us.
Yeah, you can't fire me.
Yes.
I guess not.
No, not today.
I can be, so I still have to be up at that.
Oh, it's all okay.
It's been good. So anyway, no, we just again, it's been a really neat experience, and of course, it's kind of a fun game of one-upsmanship. Every 2 years, we get a world championship, but we only get to host them every 4 years. So now the process begins towards 2014 in Germany.
A 9 has been a big deal for a whole bunch of
And we can check with our statistician here, but my guess is that is the first time it's been rolled.
That could very well be. Okay, all right. And the crowd, and that's the other thing, the crowd seems to be so into this that even they're all aware that that's the first time a 9's been rolled. And you just passed out because they finally got something.
Of course, yes.
So it finally gets rolled. And
Yes, of course. It's got to happen. It's absolutely got to happen whenever. Right. I'm looking at the texting and the chat that's going on here, and we don't actually have a location for the 2014 World Championships, but more likely than not, it will not be in Essen. We will find another cool venue to go to. In 2010, it was in Castle Waldenstein, and in 2014, I'm sure it'll be in another wonderful, cool place over there in Germany some way. And obviously, we haven't thought about 2016 yet because we're not that close.
And certainly, the decision was made after the 2008 World Championships. We wanted to separate it out from the conventions event, but we wanted it to be a unique event as a standalone event as opposed to just a small event within a larger event.
Right. I mean, we will continue to hold the North American Championships and Gen Con for the foreseeable future, but the World Championships, more likely than not, will be an event unto itself.
And certainly remember that if you, in fact, we've just had our first qualifying tournament for the 2013 North American Championship. Check the MayfairGames.com website. They'll certainly be able to tell you the qualifier schedule if you'd like to join the tournament play for the 2013 North Americans. And of course, the winner of the 2013 North Americans, in addition to being the North American champion, also gets an invite to 2014. So it's a big deal. Every year there's a Catan tournament with high stakes up there, and even the North American person gets the opportunity to go to the World. So it's a 2-year process. Right now we're going into the first year of that, which is the North Americans. But that North Americans is just even a step along the way towards the Worlds in 2014.
Yeah, it's just not every other year.
Every year there's a high stakes tournament for the settlers of Catan, and something exciting there for everyone that wants to play at this high level.
Yes, and the answer to the other question is Austria is actually the home to the European Championships. Somebody was asking why not Austria in 2014. Ultimately, that's up to Cosmos. We have a vote, of course, but they are a German company, and more likely it'll be in Germany. But Austria does indeed hold the European Championships. In fact, Mayfair attended that last year. And we have the European Championship here, although he did not make the final board.
Not just it was listed by that much, but had a great run yesterday just to make it to the semifinals, winning his last 2 games, having a very strong second place showing from the first 2 games. But Erwin's a lot of fun. He's from the Netherlands. He's our current European champion, also and just a wonderful guy. It's a lot of fun to hang around with. Get a chance to spend some time with him earlier in the weekend, and I think everyone's report on him is always that he's a charming player, even when he's taking the shirt off the back in order to build a road.
Yes, well, Erwin was with us in the 2009. He's rolling his numbers apparently. Another 4, I'm guessing. Every time he rolls a 4, he does a victory dance. I think that's what happened. And
He might have had a 3 before.
the line on the floor is actually to a camera angle line to keep people out from a particular area. Otherwise, you'll see everything but the board.
Yeah, while we've had our conversation here, Larry, we have another city built, and that has been done by Joe Chan. So, let's see if I can get an updated.
Apparently, that's why he's so happy that he just rolled a 4. He's got a city on that wheat hex over there.
Yeah, actually, it's he had rolled a 3, and so he had received 3 rolls. Yeah. So which he now proceeds to build another subdivision for the rest of this game, for the rest of the World Catan Championship. If a 3 is rolled, I'm sure we will hear about it.
Yes, there'll be a very loud cheer from the Hong Kong contingent. But so Chihuahua now sitting at 5 points with settlements on the thing, and probably starting to make maybe a little bit of a quick claim towards Longest Road. Certainly, if he connects his city and one of his settlements there, he's got a good shot at getting 6 block road down on the board.
And the brick hex was exposed and somebody rolled a 5, so he finally got some production out of that hex.
Yeah, he's getting 2 clay and 2 ore off of that now because he has settlements bracketing both of the 5s.
So, just Guinness and are both sitting at 4 points behind Joe's 5.
Ronan is a secret.
Yeah.
And Reiner still holding fast at 3 victory points.
Please, while you're watching us here live on livestream.com, get in on the chat. Ask us questions here. We'll try to answer as many as we can.
And of course, while you're following us on live stream, you might want to also follow us on Twitter. And so if you use the hashtag CWC, #CWC, That's what we're using for the Catan Worldwide Championship. You can actually get a chance to follow what's going on. So make sure to follow us on Twitter.
The reason there was no ranking on the semifinals was it was a single game.
We're looking at the development cards for each of the players.
Go ahead, Al.
Red is sitting right now with one exposed night card. We've got blue with two exposed night cards, so blue is on the verge of potentially largest army. And orange is sitting with one face-down development card. So right now we have one mystery card sitting on the table, and with blue sitting there, it means Herbert is within striking distance of getting largest army put out on the board.
So there's our development card status for the game as we stand right now.
Again, the question I was answering before Alex got us the answer that somebody else asked was there was no ranking during the semifinals because it was a single game, winner progressed. Whereas yesterday we had to play 4 games and ultimately go through some overly complicated scoring complex to qualify the 16 people into today.
Yeah, we were not going to debate the finals based on the semifinals because obviously it's a single elimination at that point, the winner. So we carried the seedings over from the qualifications to determine the start order, the player chosen order for the finals.
And it really does. It makes the stakes for that tournament round that much higher. You have 4 games, and not only do you want the most wins, those wins translate into real advantages going into the semifinals and the finals.
We wanted to be able to give players some sort of advantage for actually performing well in the choice of seeds for the semifinal round and for the final round, where you ended up as far as the semifinals in relation to all the other winners in the semifinals. I could potentially have an impact on the game, but what I found was interesting was that of our finalists here, all of them won their semifinal rounds. All 4 of them started in a different position in the semifinals. One of them had the first seat, one of them had the second seat, one of them had the third seat, and one of them had the 4th seat.
It's actually pretty interesting, but again, the dice is the leveling factor.
Exactly.
At some point, you can't predict what the dice are going to do.
And of course, that means when you're on a board which was relatively balanced as the last one was, any of those dice variations that you see in the course of the game means that you are going to be able to grab something more